There are many reasons why people cannot finish a PhD, and let me tell you this, it is not because they are not capable. If you have got to the edge of a PhD sort of candidature and you're ready to start, you deserve to be there. You have earned it. And there are tons of reasons throughout the 4, 5, 6, 7, even 10-year PhD where you can just say enough is enough. And the number one reason I've seen people not finish their PhD is because at some point during the process, they have understood the true cost of doing a PhD, and now they decide it is not worth it for them. Now, when you first start doing a PhD, you probably maybe don't know too many PhD students. You certainly don't know postdocs that are working in labs, and you certainly don't talk to professors as often as you do during a PhD. Now, at some point during that relationship building with other people in the lab, other researchers, your supervisors, you start to understand the true cost of doing a PhD. And that cost can be a number of things. Firstly, the cost it means, the cost of not doing a career, not laying the foundations of a career, not building up those professional skills, and not earning money. That is a big thing. Not earning money from an early age. You know, a lot of people just out of university, they get a job and they start earning money and their career projection goes up and they earn more and more money. As a PhD student, you go, okay, I'm going to sit at this stipend level, which when I was doing it was 20,000 Australian dollars a year for 3 years, and it didn't increase with inflation. There wasn't anything more I could do. I worked a few side hustles and jobs. Go check out my other video where I talk about that. But ultimately, there is a cost, opportunity cost, actual monetary cost, but also you start to realize that the people that you thought were really happy in doing a PhD and got into academia are actually just not as happy as you thought. The career that you were aiming for, you know, maybe is something that you go, oh, that's what they do. Oh, and they're miserable, or they don't really enjoy the process. Of all of the researchers that I've worked under and supervisors that I've had, I reckon there's only a handful that would actually say they genuinely love turning up to work every single day. And when you think about it on the surface in academia, when you look from the outside from, you know, an undergraduate, you go, wow, these people explore their thoughts and their things, and they're all doing the research they're interested in. And that's true to an extent, but really they're molded by the academic system. They're molded by trends in research. They're not necessarily doing the research that they exactly want to do because it may not be trendy, it may not be valued, it may not be valued by the university. They may have sort of like moved a little bit and shifted, and you end up with a lot of researchers who just aren't doing exactly what they want to do, but it's close and they're kind of happy. The more you sort of go through a PhD, the more you're exposed to these ideas and the realities, and therefore the true cost, and delaying adult life for a majority of PhD students isn't worth it. This video is brought to you by my newsletter. Go check it out at andrewstaveton.com.au/newsletter. I'll put a link in the description. When you sign up, you'll get 5 emails, everything from the tools I use, the perfect academic abstract, and also the podcast I have been on and more. So go check it out. It's completely free. It's exclusive content that you only get on that email list. I'll see you over there. The second biggest reason I have seen people give up on their PhD is when they leave to write up. So at the end of their PhD, maybe they've done 3 years worth of experiments, maybe 4 years, maybe more, but there's at some point where they haven't written up, but they understand they need to get a job. You know, money is a reality in our world. And so they've used all of their scholarship. They have done most of the experimental work, and they go, okay, right now I need to get a job to support myself because I'm 26, 27, I don't have a job. I need to go out and start earning money and start, you know, becoming a real person. But I don't believe that earning money makes you a real person, by the way. But that's the feelings that you get as you kind of get towards the end of your PhD. Maybe it's that sort of internal voice that goes, well, you've spent this much time in university, it's time to get a real job. But what happens is that they leave without writing up. They do their real job and they say, oh, I'll write up on the weekends and the evenings. And I've seen a load of people go that way and just give up. And that's also absolutely okay, because once again, it's that realization that okay, well, this is the real world where I'm earning money and maybe I feel more valued and I enjoy it more and I'm getting paid. And I've got this thing hanging over me, my thesis that I need to finish, but I don't really need to finish it because I like my life now. The third biggest reason I see people not finish their PhDs is because of a massive change in personal circumstances. Now, we often forget that a PhD student is a complex whole being with family, friends, anxieties, worries, hopes for the future, and a big change in personal circumstances can actually cause people to reassess what they are doing right now. It may be a forced kind of decision because, if unfortunately something terrible happens and then they need to become the sole breadwinner or something like that for the family, clearly that's a reason to leave. But a lot of times, in my own personal life, my mum passed away from ovarian cancer, and it really did sort of like take me by surprise. You are faced with mortality in like the most confrontational way, and it makes you go, well, that, everyone dies. I'm going to get there eventually. So why am I not doing the things I want to do? Why am I not trying to do the things that will make me happy? Why have I sort of slotted into this sort of default life and moving along? And so for me at the moment, I'm all about life by design and not by default. And sometimes for PhD students, this massive change in personal circumstances, whether it's tragic or otherwise, does cause a lot of them to go, oh, you know what? This actually isn't for me. I'm going to go start my art career or become a YouTuber or do something crazy. That is another reason why people can leave a PhD. And I've seen a number of students leave because of those big sort of like earthquakes that rock the foundation of their own lives. Another reason why people don't finish their PhDs is because the early topic selection just wasn't right. It was either too narrow, too hard, not broad enough, too broad, not being able to forge a path through the original kind of structure they've set for themselves by saying, this is the topic I'm going to research. Now, every good supervisor and a sort of supportive university should allow you to adjust and change. And there are checks normally at the end of the first year, second year, and third year where you go, you know what, are we on track to finishing this PhD? And I was actually put on like notice at the end of my first year by my supervisor because she was worried I wasn't going to finish on time. But don't worry, I took lots of evidence and I kind of helped people understand that everything was going okay. But yes, not having a clear kind of path to finishing causes a lot of people to drop out. And ultimately, it's just not being able to see the forest for the trees. Is that the right saying? I'm terrible at these sort of things. There's a great Stoic book, actually, by Ryan Halliday, I think, called The Obstacle is the Way. And this book just talks about how the struggles, the stress, the problems you face are the things that you need to tackle head on. And sometimes in a PhD, that can be really challenging because you feel like nothing is working. But in fact, if you lean in to what isn't working and you forge a path based on that, sometimes it can sort of like yield results. It may not be the outcome that you expect, but by leaning into the challenges, it can actually sort of open up a whole new pathway of exploration, and having the determination and the resilience to get through those challenges to the other side can cause a lot of people to just give up. And that's completely understandable because you just tumble through a PhD. The way I'd like to think about it is like a hill with like ups, downs and obstacles, and you're just like scrambling through and tumbling. And sometimes you get scratched and you feel sad and you feel like it's never going to get any better, but it does. And you've just got to keep that forward momentum. And when that momentum has stopped, that's when people risk not getting to the end. So there we have it. There are the main reasons why I have seen people not finish their PhDs. Let me know in the comments what you would add to that. And also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and go check out academiainsider.com. That's my personal new project where I help you with my first ebook, The Ultimate Academic Writing Toolkit, and the Insider Forum. Go check it out, and if it's useful for you, there are some great options for helping you tackle your PhD head on. All right, I shall see you in the next video.